Well, hello everybody, and welcome to the last Spooktober 2024
Oh, thank
We
God.
Watch Shudder episode. My name's Michelle. Who's here with me?
It's JD.
Oh, we made it, JD. Barely.
We did.
This third
3
year
days
was
to
a
spare.
struggle. This was a struggle.
First year
did
we
it.
were done by like mid-September.
August, September.
Was it? Oh, that's anyway, this last year I think we had to record 2 episodes in like early October. We made it by 3 days this time, and we are never ever doing this again.
No. You are getting more Spooktober episodes, but we're going to start recording them next week.
Yeah.
I can't do this. I am tired.
As we record this, we literally just got done recording Space Invaders not 5 minutes ago. Well, probably closer to 10, because if you listen to that episode, Michelle was like, oh, you got to watch this clip where the guy farts on Mars. And so I watched the clip where the guy farts on
really
Mars.
Funny. It was super funny.
I mean, it was something. Anyway, this is it, guys. This is it. Spooktober coming to a close. And in a lot of ways, the movie we're talking about today, which you already know, Halloween 3, Season of the Witch, is sort of the whole reason, or at least became the reason this entire month was themed around Halloween. Because I thought, it'd be, because we had been doing, like, we did a Valentine's Day, and then we did, like, a St. Patrick's Day, and all these holiday-themed things. And I was like, wouldn't it be funny if we did a whole month of Halloween-themed movies? And then wouldn't it be especially fun if we did a whole month of Halloween movies, but none of them were like Halloween movies, right? Like Michael Myers Halloween movies. Then I was like, what if we do a whole month of Halloween movies and we only do one Halloween movie, and it's the only Halloween movie that has nothing to do with Michael Myers, save that he appears on screen as a movie character in this world. That's right. Halloween is a movie in the world of Halloween 3 Season of the Witch. That's what we're talking about today. I'm excited. Michelle, are you excited?
I am something.
Are you really? Yeah.
Definitely tired.
Yeah, you and me both. So had you seen this before? Let's do the... Okay, go ahead.
No, it actually kind of goes into what I was going to talk about. Anyway, I had not seen this before. And if we didn't wait until 3 days before this episode drops to record it, I thought it would have been really funny, and I would have had more time to do it, to watch Season of the Witch starring Nicolas Cage, and also Dead Hot Season of the Witch, the Vanessa Hudgens ghost hunting documentary. I was going to watch both of those, which I have seen Dead Hot already, but I have not seen. It's one of the few Nick Cage movies I haven't seen, and I'm a big Nick Cage fan. So I was going to start this off talking about both of those and pretending I hadn't seen Halloween 3.
I'm pretty sure also that Nicolas Cage Season of the Witch is a remake of George Romero's Season of the Witch from, I want to say, 1972, but I may be mistaken about that.
I didn't know there were more. Or even more Season of the Witches? Oh.
Yeah, George Romero made a movie called Season of the Witch.
Well, shit, I should know that. There's one from 2022, one from 2009. This is a popular movie title. If we had time, I would have watched all of them, but I did not.
Only one Halloween 3 Season of the Witch, though. Only one.
You were smart to keep specifying. Because I definitely would have watched the others.
I hadn't seen Halloween, the original, as most of you, or at least longtime listeners will know, is like my favorite movie of all time. Not even just horror movies. I fucking adore that movie. But this one I knew had nothing to do with Michael Myers, and I knew it had a questionable reputation, so I deliberately avoided this movie for a long time. And then I broke down and finally decided to watch it for the first time. It would have been Halloween, either Halloween 2020 or Halloween 2021. So either 3 or 4 years ago, I watched it for the very first time, and now here I am watching it again. Halloween 3 Season of the Witch. Very divisive film. Some people, it's become a very heralded cult favorite. There's a certain school of people who fucking adore this movie. We're going to find out how I feel about it, how Michelle feels about it. Michelle?
Yeah.
Why all of a sudden am I just like super official and like, ooh, do this way? I don't know. Let's talk about Halloween 3 Season of the Witch. You want to read the descriptive script?
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to read you one sentence from IMDb that tells you nothing, because I went into this blind and I think the second sentence would have made me sad and it would have been too much of a reveal. So, the first sentence from the IMDb descriptive script. Kids all over America want silver shamrock masks for Halloween. Halloween 3 Season of the Witch. 1982, rated R, an hour and 38 minutes. JD,
First of all,
Oh, yes.
I'm sorry, I should allow you to ask the question.
JD, would you like to hit us with your spoiler-free thoughts? And now if
I
you have a
sure
different
would.
question.
First of all, hour 38 minutes, too goddamn long. But we all already know that. As I said, there is a certain group of people who are big fans of this movie, and after one viewing, I wasn't really sold, and after two viewings, I'm really not sold. This movie, it doesn't connect with me in any way. I find the plot kind of weak. It doesn't compel me in any sense. I think there's some good gore effects in this. There's definitely some good special effects and such. It just, I don't know. It's a little too. I don't even know what the right word for it is, but the story is just it didn't resonate with me in any way at all. I'm gonna give this one a skull and a half for some solid kills.
Okay. 1.5
Michelle.
skulls from JD. Yes.
Michelle, please tell us how you felt in a spoiler-free way.
Yes.
I don't know why I did that.
I don't either, but that's okay. It gave me a second to get my thoughts together. Once again, we are completely at odds because I really like this. And I think part of it is I knew going in that it was not going to be like a traditional Halloween movie because they thought that they could do anthology films and this was supposed to be just its own standalone thing. So there's that working against it. But I found the story very interesting and there are some very good kills. And there's one scene in particular where I was like, oh shit. And I went back and I rewatched and went, oh shit. Like I liked it. It has a very catchy song that I will have stuck in my head for weeks. And that's a downside of it. But also, I enjoyed it and I would watch it again. This was my first time seeing it and I don't really have complaints about it. We are going to go with a 3.5 from me.
3.5 from Michelle, 1.5 from me. That's a 2.5 average any way you slice it. Halloween 3 Season of the Witch. We're going to get into spoiler territory now. If you've never seen it and you want to see it, stop listening now. Come back after you saw it. Spoilers, Michelle?
Yeah. Spoiler territory.
Okay. All right. So I'm really hoping that we might get at least a little bit more of a plot summary out of this than we did out of Spaced Invaders, because as we learned very quickly in the Spaced Invaders episode, I can't do this. I don't know how you're able to do it, but I clearly can't do it. I fucked my way through about a third of that movie's plot and just had to quit. And I have a whole newfound respect for your abilities. Tell us about this Halloween 3 Season of the Witch.
Yeah, definitely no pressure about fumble fucking, apparently. I do like that phrase, and I will be using that a lot more.
Oh, yeah, I don't even remember where I got that. Yeah, I do. I got it from the fucking Matt Damon, Ben Affleck movie, Good Will Hunting.
I was about to say, which one? Team America? Okay. Let's try to sum up Halloween 3 Season of the Witch. I have so many vivid images in my head that are not coming into a cohesive story. Okay. So there's a guy and he has a Halloween mask and he gets killed. Bummer. And then there's a doctor and he has a bad relationship with his kids and his ex-wife. Aw, man, extra bummer. And then he goes to the hospital to do hospital doctor things. And there's a guy who will not say anything. And they're like, we don't know what's wrong with him. He's like, don't worry, I'm a doctor. I'll find out what's wrong with him. And then a little bit later, he's like, I know the problem. He's dead, because the guy winds up dying. He gets his eyes poked in and then now he's dead. But before he died, he had seen a commercial and he was like, oh, that fucking jingle. But he didn't say that. He said, they're all going to kill us. And then it came true. So then this guy, he's like, something weird is afoot. And he goes to like the warehouse or something where these masks are made, because he met up with the dead guy's daughter and she was keeping a record of where her father had been so that she could try to figure out who had killed him and what had happened. And then she's like, well, he said that he was going to buy more masks because he owned a costume shop and he never made it to the appointment. So then he goes to the warehouse with the lady and they are wandering and trying to collect evidence. Something happens. And then at some point, the main guy figures out that people are androids. They're not people, they're android people. And this is why we can't let AI win, you guys, because they were very convincing up to that point. So convincing, in fact, that the main guy had sex with one of them. Oh my God. So that all happened. And then it turns out that this company making the masks took a part of Stonehenge to make a microchip in the mask that melts a lady's face off. And that was the part that was so fucking cool. It made me go like, whoa, what am I watching after all? I really, really like that. And then there's a whole thing about a ritual on Halloween. And I don't remember the reason, but they're doing this ritual using a thing from Stonehenge. And they are going to make everybody die from the masks, become mind controlled from the masks. Bad shit. Bad corporate, bad people shit. And then the guy stops that from happening, but they're still playing the commercial / show on the TV. And he's like yelling into phones, trying to get people to stop, but nobody will pay attention to him. And then it kind of ends on a bummer. I don't think he actually succeeds in his plan. It's very strange, but I also really like strange. And I did not expect to watch the only Halloween movie without Michael Myers, and then it's like a weird conspiracy witchcraft thing. That was the last thing that I saw coming, and I think that's a big part of what made me like it. I thought it was still gonna be a slasher, or when people said like when I had read like they thought Halloween 3 could I can't remember the exact structure, but somebody said something about like Halloween 3 could be an anthology. I thought this was going to be multiple short films too. Like I had no idea what I was watching. So I overall enjoyed the weirdness. And also 8 more days till Halloween, 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 8 more days till Halloween. Yeah, it's great. It's a great song. I want that as my ringtone.
You're not the only one who would. Anyway, yeah, that's Halloween 3, Season of the Witch. I guess again, I don't have anything particularly against it. I was just like, I don't. They stole an entire piece of Stonehenge. They got it to the United States. At first, I the way they deal with explaining how they do that is just like, oh, you'd never believe how difficult it was. And then they just never talk about it again. But yeah, aside from the kills, I agree. That one in the hotel when Ms. Gutman gets her face fried by the so chip cool. That has fallen off the mask. Really, really good. Even the guy getting his eyes gouged out was real good. The dude getting his head ripped off was pretty good.
I forgot about that one.
Yeah, he's like down on his knees and there's one on either side of him, those androids, and his rip his damn head off. I thought that was good. Here's some things about this that I find, I guess it makes total sense once you realize that the girl was one of the androids the whole time. But like the idea that girl would ever just like randomly hook up with Tom Atkins, first of all, is like twice as old as she is, even here in this film. Just a completely unbelievable relationship is all I'm saying. But then you find out, oh yeah, she was a robot. That explains a whole lot of things. I don't know. It just never really kicked in and connected with me. It's a story that it takes that weird kind of folk horror turn right at the very end. But otherwise, everything leading up to it just never hooked me in any way at all. I don't like the Dr. Dan character, and so I don't have any kind of hook into the film. And that's kind of where it stands for me. I do like Dan O'Herlihy, who played Connell Cochran. Dan O'Herlihy is great. He was also the dude in RoboCop, who's the head of OCP, and he was also Grigg in The Last Starfighter. But nah, just overall, it didn't really do much for me. You clearly liked it way more than I did, so you take some time, chat about
it. The way that you said that reminded me that you have said that exact same phrase to me several times, and it's very funny. I just remembered, I'm like, you have said, like, because I had like deja vu about it, but then I went, it's not deja vu, you're just remembering that you clearly like the movie more than me. You talk for a while is like one of your catchphrases at this point.
Well, every now and then
show.
I just realize yet again that I've been babbling for several minutes. And I'm just okay.
I just think it's funny.
You're welcome.
Okay. So when I was looking at the IMDb description, so that we could figure out what we could say about this movie, I said that I did not want to include the second sentence because Dr. Daniel Chalice seeks to uncover a plot by Silver Shamrock owner Connell Cochran. And I did not know that going into this movie, and I'm happy that I did not know that because for me, it was just a fun mystery to try to figure out. I knew something was up with the commercial. The commercial was eerie, and then the guy wakes up and he sees the commercial, and then he says they're going to kill us all, and I go, who? The people on the commercial? Like, is it aliens? Like, what do you mean? And so I was thinking, like, maybe it's aliens, and this is like a broadcast that they're sending. Like, I was trying to figure it out alongside the doctor, and I knew nothing about what was going on, and so the corporate conspiracy behind it and trying to figure out, like, I was not going to guess that those guys were androids, but then it made sense when it turned out that's exactly what they were. I do think that when it gets into the Stonehenge thing, that is so convoluted and weird. And I know that they were trying to do it because it happens on Halloween, so Samhain, and using something from the Stonehenge, like, I get why they did it, but it was definitely muddied, and everything kind of at the big climax of the movie, it gets a little bit weird. But then I do like that it's revealed that the lady was also an android, and now he can't trust anyone essentially, and then he's trying to tell people that they have to take the commercial off the air, and they don't. And so I kind of like the futility of the last little bit of this, where like he probably is not. It's not going to work out the way that he wants it to. And he also can't fucking trust anybody because they're all androids. Androids all the way down.
Androids all the way down. Yeah, it's the Stonehenge stuff is really where it all kind of loses me. It's just like, so it's like a silly magic thing or a sacrifice thing. And I guess that's the whole is they're gonna murder a bunch of kids, and then also when those kids die, they're gonna release somehow a bunch of bugs and snakes and shit to kill other people.
I forgot about that part. Yep.
And then there's just a whole bunch of people are gonna die. Why? Something about winter? I don't know. They didn't do a real good job. If they wanted this to be a spooky folk horror film, should have been a little bit more folk horror-y and a little bit less fucking killer robots. You know what I mean? But,
no, I completely agree. That's why I think like everything's so high tech until it's not. Like, androids are a very sophisticated thing that we don't even have in real life right now to that extent. We got the Boston Dynamics dog, and he's scary as fuck, but also I want to be friends and pet him. But we don't have, like, as far as I know, then again, JD, are you an android? If you're an android, you have to tell me.
Yes, I am an android.
Knew it. I knew it. That's why you're so opposed to AI, because it's your enemy as the android. It's you have to battle with it, I guess.
That may well be. I don't really know what else to say about Halloween 3 Season of the Witch, Michelle, because I don't know. The whole thing just does. I think I'm just so connected to the original film and to a certain extent the first sequel that like I think from in a weird like background psychological way, I think there was just no way I was ever gonna be able to connect with this, no matter how good it was. And that's unfortunate because it has been suggested several times that if this movie wasn't connected to the Halloween franchise, that it would have been received so much better than it was. And I can definitely see the argument there, but unfortunately we'll never know, right? It is what it is. And now that I've seen it twice, I don't know that I will ever go out of my way to see this film again. You said, though, that you would probably watch this more times, huh?
Yes. Can I respond?
Do you think it's... Yes, please do. That's why I sent it over to you.
Well, I know, but you were about to ask a follow-up question. Before you do that, I just have to say that the issue is not that this is part of the Halloween franchise that you love so much. The issue is that you like stories that make sense, and this doesn't.
That's also...
Yeah, I mean, you like when things aren't convoluted and weird in a way that they did not intend it to be.
Well, no, it makes sense. Like, I get the basics of it, right? I just... Yet again, it's just like I could have used a little bit more there, guys. It's just like it's very Deus Ex Machina, right? Just out of nowhere. Oh, turns out it's Stonehenge. It's what? It's fucking Stonehenge.
I love sci-fi horror, so I think this wound up being just like right up my alley. I like horror. I like sci-fi.
It feels, you know what it feels like to me, Michelle? It feels like one of those classic cases of like, it's like somebody took two different movies and just was like, find a way to make these one movie. And then that's what happened. Yeah. It is cool that the guy who did the bulk of or who was all of Michael Myers in Halloween 2, Dick Warlock, he was the lead android in this. What's her name? Who played Annie Brackett? Nancy Keiss, who was Annie Brackett in the original Halloween, plays Linda Chalice, Dr. Dan Chalice's ex-wife. Lots of little nods to the original Halloween, and I like how like they're playing the horror classic Halloween on TV in this movie, right? Like they don't shy away from that connection in a lot of ways. I wonder if maybe they just hadn't thrown those reminders at me, if maybe that would have helped some way. But those were some of I was like, oh, look. And then Tommy Lee Wallace, who was production designer for Halloween, he directed this film, was a co-writer of it. He's the guy who invented or who created and designed the original Michael Myers mask. So it's got... It's just constantly reminding me of something that I like so much more.
Fair. I think it's fun. But I also don't love the Halloween franchise. So this is true,
right? You're not the only one. My cousin Wade loves it. Darcy the Mail Girl is a big fan. I don't remember how Joe Bob feels about it, but I know Darcy loves it, and it does. Like, especially the further away from it, the more years it's gotten behind us, it has developed more of a following of its own. So it just is what it is. I feel like we're ending Spooktober month on just like a real sort of limp-wristed review here, Michelle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm like, it's not a problem, though. Tomorrow, when this airs, they're going to get a brand new episode from us instead. And so they can, I think, unless we have to do Michelle and review Friday.
We have to do Michelle and review on Friday, and then we have to do the new drop on Saturday. Oh, God, 35 episodes. This is why this is happening, right? Guys, we appreciate you sticking it out to the end of Spooktober this year. Sorry if things got a little sloppy towards the end here, at least in my work. Michelle's always great. but
I'm
we
always very sloppy. JD,
oh, I'm tired, Michelle.
I just had a big concern.
What?
Does the new release come out on Friday or Saturday this week?
It comes out on Friday, but the episode drops on Saturday.
Okay, I am making sure because the release date in the spreadsheet is wrong then, and I got very worried because Saturday is my gigantic silent auction fundraiser, and there was no fucking way.
Yeah, I put on the spreadsheet the day that the episode is going to be released, not the day that the movie is
that
released.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
I saw release date, and then I got very scared. Oh my god!
No, we don't have to.
I'm so stressed
we don't have to
out.
watch a movie
slept.
on Saturday.
I'm tired. Oh my god!
Guys, thanks for toughing it out with us here. We will be back with more episodes. 35 episodes in 32 days or 33 days, Michelle. Holy shit. That's that's pretty
college,
wild.
plus a full-time job, plus fundraising. I'm so tired. I did an article reading for myself the other day, and it told me to take care of myself before any of my other responsibilities, and the cards can go fuck themselves. That was too.
What's an oracle reading?
Oh, it's like tarot, but different.
Oh.
And I love it.
Okay.
But the cards were very unkind.
We'll just leave my thoughts on that to myself. I do want to say. I do want to say, honestly, this has been a fucking fantastic month for us. First Spooktober, of course, was our best month of the first year. Second Spooktober was our best month, and we grew over the first Spooktober. And the level to which we've grown this month is astounding. We smashed our numbers for most plays in a single month. We smashed our record for most plays in a single day 3 different times. Lots of old back episodes getting listened to in addition to the new ones, in addition to the Spooktobers. We love you guys. Keep telling everybody about our show. I feel like you can tell how...
And then,
don't hate. I feel like you can strongly tell how I've reached a point of, oh man, I'm so glad we've gotten to the finish line, by how like I start to sound like I'm hosting a game show.
And what's he gonna win, Barbara? And then
he's gonna win a trip to his
car.
bed to take a nap.
Ugh, I'm so jealous. I have to be awake for at least another hour. I have to.
Oh,
you
no.
guys, this is why we don't do Spooktober recordings in October. It is fundraising season, and I am tired AF.
Here's something I can tell people for today before we wrap up, is right now on YouTube there are not one but 2 short films that I got to see at Chicago Horror Film Festival earlier this year that I really, really liked, and that are now available for the whole world to see for free on YouTube. One of them is called Slaughter Creek Slasher of the Dead. And there's a post on our Facebook and Instagram about it with a link in the comments. I'll probably even put one in the episode description here, because that would be the smart way to do it. And then also a movie called The Ones Across the Pond, which is also just available today, Halloween Day, but I will have a link for you to be able to see that one too. The Ones Across the Pond, Slaughter Creek Slasher of the Dead. My dog's barking, Michelle. I got to wrap things up. You got anything else to say?
I'm tired, but I will be back to my normal self tomorrow, as far as you guys are concerned. But I mean, I'm going to be tired as fuck tomorrow on Tuesday because our auction goes live on Thursday, and I'm very stressed out, and it's not good. I'm stress eating, and I feel sick all the time.
Michelle?
Yeah.
Say goodnight, Michelle.
Good night, Michelle.
For more horror content, visit WeWatchShutter.com, where you'll find our world-famous, patent-pending Ghoul blog and Squelch files, as well as a schedule of upcoming episodes. Find us on social media at WeWatchShutter on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and I guess Twitter, if you're still doing that for whatever reason. You can email us. mail@WeWatchShutter.com is the address. mail@WeWatchShutter.com. You can even call and leave us a voicemail, 701-566-9510. No, really. 701-566-9510. Give it a shot. See what happens. We Watch Shudder is a production of Rat Factory Media.